Hello UKSG, how you doing everyone? I hope you're thoroughly enjoying the event so far. My name is Aeshmah. I'm gonna be running the devil within Satgat for you during the overnight block, which also means that I sadly wasn't able to join you for this event, but maybe the next one. We'll see. This is a game that came out in November of 2024 and probably flew under the radar of a lot of people because I haven't seen much buzz around it so far, so maybe we can change that a little bit with this one. It's a 2D Metroidvania-esque game, though it's very light on the Metroidvania elements, I want to say, but we will get into all of that while we are doing the speedrun. Since we have about, roughly 2 hours or so of game to get through, I would say we just go ahead and start the whole shebang, and I will talk you through it. So we'll select new game, we'll save over this, we'll be playing on easy difficulty, because obviously it is the easiest one to get through, and don't be fooled, even though it has easy difficulty. It can be quite hard, because obviously it's a speedrun, so we're not gonna pick up a lot of power-ups and so on and so forth. But as soon as we confirm this, time will start, so everybody get ready, and let's do this in 3, 2, 1, go! Now, the nice thing about this game already is that you can skip most of the cutscenes. You can't skip all of them, sadly, but you can also skip the tutorial, which they added in a bit of a later patch. Like, again, the game came out in November 2024, and I think that patch dropped in, like, December of the same year, so pretty close together, and it's really neat because it saves about, I want to say, 5 minutes or so. Now, the setup of the game is basically it plays in South Korea, if I'm not mistaken, during the Joseon dynasty, which was a real-world dynasty, though I forgot to check when it was. I think it was between the 16 and 1800s or so. Now you see this is all pretty advanced territory here, and that is because, in the game, during that time, a monumental building shot up from the ground all of a sudden in the area called the White Spire, because, it's a like tower-like thing, very white, which seeped a liquid that had miraculous qualities, and it allowed the country to basically advance technology and everything rapidly. Now, of course, every other country on the world took notice of this and tried to buddy up with Korea during that time. However, when they tried to export that stuff, it quickly decayed and was basically useless outside of the country. So that's why it allowed rapid advancement in basically every single technology, medicine, whatever you can think of. And that is why, this country is pretty advanced for the time we're actually in. However, fast forward a few years and the White Tower turned into the Ebon Sting because it turned all black and menacing, and the liquid is now called the Crimson Oil because it turns humans into monsters. Shocking how that goes. And obviously we couldn't let that slide, so the army launched an attack at the Ebon Sting with us at the helm. We are Kim Rip, yes, that's its name. We are the protagonist, and we are a royal guard to the royal family of Korea, or the Joseon dynasty, I should say, and specifically the princess. And we are also like the country's best sword fighter. And so we went on with that mission, not alone, mind you, with a whole army at our back. However, the mission failed, and we have been basically missing for about a year, and that is when the game starts off with us awakening from a slumber of some kind. Having lost our memories, but being accompanied by this shadowy creature at our back, which will guide us a little bit through here. And we also found a letter that tells us somebody wants to meet us in the subway ruins of this city. And that is what we are trying to accomplish by making our way through the city into the subway tunnels at the moment. But yeah, as you can see, it's like a nice little 2D game. We have a dash, jumps obviously, and we will expand upon that repertoire throughout the game with double jumps, wall jumps, and the like. However, a big focus of the game is actually on the combat. Like, you can't think of this as more of a Devil May Cry in 2D than, say, like a Hollow Knight or what have you. However, since, it is a speedrun, Obviously, we're gonna be skipping a lot of the fighting. But thankfully, you know, there are quite a few bosses where we can show our skills. So we'll just make our way through this building here. I'm always a bit confused why the elevator doesn't actually stop at every floor, or why it only stops at specific floors, but I guess that's game logic for you.
I'll need to search the building.
For this we have restored power, and then we can use another elevator, because for some reason the one elevator that we use still works, even though the others don't. It's confusing, Jack. It's very advanced. You wouldn't understand. We're gonna pick up this little bugger here. We'll have a short conversation about what that was.
A hete? What's that?
Now those little blue demon dogs, the hete, that we just picked up, basically what they do in-game is they reveal the map to you, or specific parts of the map where you find them in. Which is quite nice, however, obviously in a speedrun, not that important to us because we know where to go. However, they also give you scales with which you can buy power-ups later, so we kind of do want this. Also, I've had enough of playing on easy difficulty. Let's bump it up to hard, shall we? And oh no! Oh my god! See how hard the game is when you bump up that difficulty? I got demolished right then and there. Let's go for some payback, shall we? Or at least try to, because we're still on hard difficulty. Now come here, you! Oh no, I died again. Whatever will I do? Well, you see, if you die at any point during the game twice, you get this. It's the Excalibur. Exercise the world of evil and take your place as Arthur Hendragon. Bok bok cock. So yeah, we can now reduce difficulty again and equip the Excalibur. And yes, it is a rubber chicken. That is an incredibly good weapon for quite a bit of the game, actually. Now, you can upgrade your weapons and your whole equipment during the course of the game, and let me tell you, this weapon is probably the best one that you can have until you've upgraded every other weapon to at least +8, which won't be happening for a while. And whenever we crit... got hit there. We get this little squeaking chicken sound noise, so I hope you're all ready for that, because we'll be hearing that quite a bit during the run. Like, I just genuinely love that they included this weapon right here. You know, it gives a bit of levity to it, but I also just really miss secret, stupid, unlockable weapons like that in games nowadays. So I really just love the fact that that is here. Anyway, now that we have our weapon of choice, we will continue making our way through the city here. Dodging the attacks. Ooh, there we go. Oh. Oh, that was perfectly arced there, lady. Holy hell. Wow, what a shot.
Not again. There seems to be something on the ceiling. Thoughts?
So, make the shot immediately. Hell yeah. So we have to pick up an item here that allows us to stagger enemies. So we can't progress. Now, as you might have already seen when we died there, the game also has like the typical, you know, Souls-like quality with the bonfires right here. And if you die, you lose all your engrams, as they're called. In this game, you can occasionally see them in the top right corner. It's basically, you know, the souls that you use as currency for buying equipment, leveling up, all that kind of thing that you expect on a game like this. And what you saw me do here was a concentrated counter-attack. So whenever I perfectly or just, you know, block and parry attacks when I attack enemies myself, the purple bars at the bottom middle of the screen fill, like these 4 little sticks coming out of this mask in the middle there. And once one has filled, and I then perfect parry or perfect dodge an attack, I get what's called a concentrated counter attack. And what basically happens, I get like into a little bullet time effect, and then you have a limited time to input one button to do like a big attack that does like a bajillion damage to the enemies. And that's kind of a core mechanic in this game that we want to try and abuse. Now what we picked up here is a chain glove. It increases my damage, or my attack rating I should say, by 5, which doesn't sound like much, but keep in mind I only had like 30 or so without having it equipped. So we basically increased our damage by 6 or so, which is pretty good. That's a pretty good increase. Now, as you might expect, we use the bonfires, the camps, to increase our level by using the engrams. Then we get factor, which we can then put into our skill trees. And the falling slash. This allows us to do a heavy attack in midair, which will be very useful in the coming fight. Alrighty. This is like a forced fighting section. We are closed in here until we have defeated all the enemies. They will come in a couple of different ways. That would be lovely. Keep in mind I'm playing this on controller, so aiming can be a little bit finicky. Pick that up. Stabilized engram crystal is basically like a lost soul in Dark Souls or whatever. You use it and you gain a couple of engrams out of it. And they come in different qualities. This is where we use the slash attack that we bought, which will ground these enemies like immediately. So they get more easily killed. Now in the lower left you can see the number go down. This is basically my bullet count, the blue bar. It's not my mana count or anything. Counter attack, very nice. Kill off that guy and pick up this. And then of course the red bar in the lower left is our health, as you might surmise. A health upgrade, then a damage upgrade. And then on the lower right you see the items that I have equipped in my quick select. And above that, like the yellow segmented bar that you see go up and down, those are my AP. Now you use AP for various things, especially whenever you do a heavy attack you use 1 AP, but also if you do a dash. And also every time you block an enemy attack that also uses 1 AP. However, not if you get a perfect parry, which is, you know, blocking when the enemy was about to hit you. So definitely have to keep that in mind a little bit. They will, of course, refill organically over time quite quickly, but you know, in a fight you really want to be managing your AP so you don't get exhausted. Now, exhausted is a state that happens when you are completely out of AP, and then you won't regenerate them for a little while. Now here, these worms, they are deadly. They will basically insta-kill you when they as much as touch you. So obviously we do not want that to happen, so we have to be quite a bit careful making our way through this here. Because as you can see, they deal about 1,000,000 damage to these enemies. And we have like, I don't know, like 150 health or so ourselves. It's not a lot. So really, really dangerous enemies. Thankfully they're all scripted, so we know where they go, so we can easily avoid that. And of course they will be back. Oh my god. Can you please not block me like that? Thank you. Everybody is shooting me. Stop shooting me. Just about made it. We pick up our second head here, right here. So what I just skipped there is, you know, it's showing me which part of the map was revealed, because I picked it up, obviously. Not information that we really need to know. That I'm just gonna take another couple levels here, or, you know, one. and get an upgrade to my CP. So I can now fill a second of these purple bars at the bottom there, just to store a little bit more. And then we get into our next boss fight, which is the big boss of the first area of the game. This is Lichu. See how well he behaves. And you really want to go for those perfect parries to try and fill your CP up and then hit him just like this. Big attack. And then we can also do this, which deals quite a bit more damage as well. And then we are on to the second phase, where he will destroy the ground. And be more dangerous, because now he has lost his cape. That should end the fight. Yep, there we go. That's him done. So a pretty easy fight, but you know, keep in mind we are playing on the easiest difficulty. So since we're still at the start of the game, not that hard. Now we got our devil arm. We are becoming a demon ourselves. Oh no, whatever shall we do? Oh, we'll see about that. But now we have the chasing grasp ability, where we can use our arm to quickly grapple onto an enemy, basically. Which you actually won't be seeing that often during the run. Like, I mostly even forget that it is a mechanic in the game. You will see it a couple times in the next area. But after that, it doesn't really get utilized that much more. I mean, you could use it in combat to quickly, you know, grasp onto an enemy, but like I said, I keep forgetting about it. There's another mysterious lady that we just met.
Is this what that?
Sure, she won't be important for the story. Oops. Did not want to go to the menu there. And now we have found the portal that we were looking for in the subway ruins, which transports us to Mirabelle. Now, Mirabelle is basically a place between places. It's being kept alive by Dongbek, the lady in black over there. And it's basically like, you know, in a space pocket somewhere,
in the world calls you a traitor,
which is safe from the demons, so it's a safe haven. I'm gonna flashback there, what happened before we lost our memories. And this guy is here, and Gyuso now acts as our smith, so he upgrades your first weapon for free, which is pretty nice, but, you know, our rubber chicken is just too powerful. The Excalibur is just unparalleled in power.
From the looks, take a look at the tree.
There's a soul stone in that tree floating over there, which is running out of power. And we will get this, which is why we picked up those two hete to increase our critical damage by 10%. Like, critical strikes normally deal 150% of your damage, now they deal 160%. It's a small increase, but, you know, it's nice to get it, and it's just mostly along the way anyway. And basically the soul stone in that tree that we just saw is running out of juice, so Mirabelle is on the brink of falling apart. So Dongbek sends us out to hopefully find another soul stone, so Mirabelle can keep going. And one is said to be here in the laboratory in the corrupted forest. So let's see if we can find that. And of course now we're starting to fight robots and everything. These little floating white things are basically like notes, which give you a little bit of backstory, because, you know, other people have written these and you can pick them up. That's just nice, you know, to have a little bit of world-building going on, but important for the speedrun is actually that you get quite a bit of engrams just by touching them. And since we won't be fighting a lot of enemies, they basically allow us to, you know, gain experience, so we can keep our power level roughly equal to the enemies. Or what the game is expecting of us, I should say, power-wise. So we get another ability, the double jump. Yeah, this is a Metroidvania, and they already give you the double jump, like, less than 20 minutes in. Let that sink in. Which is also why I said, like, I don't really think the Metroidvania moniker fits this game too well, because it's pretty linear in what it does. Like, we can't even go back to the ruined city at the moment. That will only unlock once we are done with this area. So the exploration is a bit more limited in that regard as well. Also, watch the lady here, and bloop, she just disappeared. It was a bit hard to see because we're basically overlapping the characters at this point, but yeah, she just up and vanishes. Now, I really dislike these bears with the cannons because they have a tendency to just shoot when I'm about to be where they are. Oh yeah, that's good. Got a single perfect parry there. Oh my god, I'm completely reading this guy wrong. There we go. Alright. Yeah, you can see you really want to go for those concentrated counterattacks because they deal a lot of damage. But that also means that you have to be pretty spot on with your parry timings. And there are just a couple of enemies that I don't want to say I can't figure them out, but their timing is just so off to me that I tend to have a bit of a harder time parrying them. That was one of the enemy types for that. Okay, but now we not only got the double jump, we also got the wall jump already. So our movement capabilities are expanding at a rapid pace. Like, imagine if you got, like, you know, the double jump and the wall climb. Like I said, 20 minutes into the run in something like Hollow Knight or so. I mean, in the speedrun you might actually do that, seeing how broken that game is, but...
floor of the central lab.
There really aren't a lot of glitches or anything in this game. It's basically just, you know, be good at the game itself, at the fighting and whatnot. And obviously you should know where to go. That always helps. Now I try to spend my AP as best I can without getting exhausted, because like I said, when you are exhausted, it takes a little while longer for your AP to start regenerating. Kind of like, you know, in Dark Souls, where if you run out of stamina, it takes a little bit longer for it to come back than if you had left it at a little bit of a sliver and let it regenerate from there.
I was right.
Okay, get a bit of a cutscene here, so allow me to take a sip of my tea. Now we can go either east or west first, it doesn't really matter, we have to go to both sides anyway. Oh wait, this is not what I want to get. I tend to go east first, just out of habit, but again, it doesn't really matter which direction you go first.
Where I lived, or even if I had a family.
Gonna grab some upgrades here. This one and this one, and then we're also gonna go ahead and grab this. And yes, we can also grab this. Perfect. Now the meteorite items that you see me pick up throughout the run are upgrade materials for your swords. And then you also find modules which upgrade your guns. We will, however, only be focusing on our swords, or rather on one sword, I should say. Which we'll pick up in a little bit here. So there are 4 tiers of upgrade materials. The first tier allows you to upgrade your weapons from +1 to +5. The second tier from +6 to +10. The third from 11 to 14, and then you need the last one just for the upgrade to +15. And that is the maximum that you can achieve. Now these fruits I pick up, they come in 2 varieties, red and green. The green ones allow you to increase the maximum amount of your lotus pellets, which is basically Estus flasks that you can carry, and then the red ones increase the potency of that. So at the moment I can have 3 times for, I think, 70 HP each. And we will increase that to 5 times for 80 HP over the course of the run. Obviously there are more upgrade materials for that along the way as well, but you know, they're kind of out of the way, so we won't be picking them up. And we're playing on easy, so that should suffice anyway. Now, these big enemies, you can see by the skull and cross at their health bar, and because they are way bigger than all the other enemies, they are like elites. And not only do they give quite a few engrams when you defeat them, but they also always drop a silver key, and I think also always like an upgrade material. Obviously we want the upgrade material, but we are more interested in the silver keys. Because what the silver keys allow us to do is they let us open these treasure chests that you can see strewn around the maps from time to time. And they hold like powerful items or more upgrade materials or more factors that we need to use to unlock abilities in our upgrade trees. So we want to not defeat all of them, but quite a few at specific points in the run so we can open the treasure chests that we need to get the items in them. Also, at the moment, we are on a somewhat specific engram route. Like, I want to get to level 24 kinda quickly, and then stop leveling until we hit a different... I got him. A specific point in the story where we will need to buy a lot of upgrade materials. Oh. So this is where we use our chasing grasp to grasp onto these bats, so we can cross the gap here. Open this treasure chest, that is where we kill the other enemy for. Then we get 2 blue factors. Now the blue factors are agility factors. They allow us to unlock like movement-based abilities. There are yellow, which are more for health and damage upgrades. Reds for sword fighting abilities. There's green ones for toughness, which basically corresponds to your parry abilities, and then purple, which are special ones. This plant is all the way at the left side, so just a little bit for it to come over. And then we can make our way up here, and we are close to the next boss fight. I'll take a quick rest and upgrade a few levels. I'm not gonna put those factors into our skill tree just yet, because we shouldn't have enough to unlock anything worthwhile anyway. Here's our next boss fight. He kinda behaves similar to Li Chung, just not as elaborate, but the general abilities he uses are kind of the same. And now again, I'm trying to go for the perfect parries like this. Oh god, that missed completely, wow. Now you can see this guy do these little back hops, and he is completely invulnerable while he does them. And he can do basically as many of them as he wants, which is really aggravating. As you can't imagine, they just, you know, keep chaining them. But yeah, there goes the fight. Missed a couple parries, and like missed one attack completely, which is not nice. But that's just, you know, stuff that can happen. And we got another item from him, the defaced ID tag, which basically lets us equip 2 accessories at once. Like at the moment we can only have 1 equipped, which is the chain glove that we picked up earlier that increases our attack. And we don't even have another accessory at the moment, but obviously we will be picking up some others a little bit later. Another feature here is we can fast travel from bonfire to bonfire. The problem is, like, this is really finicky. Like, the cursor really likes to latch on everything but a different save point that it can fast travel to, which is why I zoomed the map in so much, so it's a little bit easier to select them. It loses a little bit of time to do this, but it's way better than the alternative where you just, you know, try to snap it to the save point. It was kinda okay-ish in the early stages of the game, and I feel like with every patch they made it a bit worse to, you know, efficiently fast travel like that. Like, I don't even personally know why you are able to select anything but a different save point when you are on the fast travel menu. Like, it's so superfluous to me because I don't need to know where an elevator is or whatever. I just, if I'm trying to fast travel, and to fast travel. But oh well, you know, it's like a little snag. It doesn't break the game in any capacity. It's just a little irritation whenever I do a speedrun and try to fast travel. Fast. So yeah, you can see the even sting like in the background there. The place where all the problems started, so to speak. Like that is actually where we were in the tutorial. Like, you know, when I explained the story with us and the army attacking the Ebon Sting to try and rid the world of those demons, that is where the tutorial took place, and we just skipped all over that. Our way through this cave here. Careful of the spikes. The spikes always damage you. They don't kill you, but they damage you and set you back to the quote-unquote nearest safe ground that you've been at. So I might lose a little time there, which we don't want, obviously. Just weaving our way through the enemies and their attacks. Got it. Nice. I am such a sniper. Oh my god, of course. Couldn't really see the shot there because of the way the foreground obstructed that. Gonna wait for the next cycle. Go. Getting some green factor out of this. Again, this is mostly for our parry abilities. And then we grab another couple levels and abilities because we have a boss fight coming up. This just to get it out of the way. We should be able to grab this. Very nice. And then we can also go ahead and grab this. Okay, no, that's not. Getting a bit of a strength increase and health increase here. Now, I really dislike this boss fight because her attack timings make absolutely no sense to me. It's like one of the bosses that I actually struggle the most with. Because this attack in particular is just so delayed. And she just keeps spamming it. Then she can also parry you. Oh, wow. Look at me getting a parry and then immediately not being able to do anything with it because she... Yeah. Like, this boss fight just makes me angry every time. But we got through it somewhat okay. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just a matter of practice, right? Like, the more you do these fights, it's obviously the better you get at them. Maybe I just haven't practiced this one in particular enough yet. She just has quite the combination of fast and very delayed attacks. It just completely catches me off guard every time. But, you know, on the other side, it makes for an interesting fight. Because you really have to be on your toes to get it done right, so to speak. Come on. There we go. Bring more upgrade materials. Didn't want to kill that robot there, but I don't know. It's obviously a bit random where they are every time because they move even when they're not on the screen.
Is this...
Okay, now we got both power cells. Now we go back to the control room where we were in the beginning. Well, not the beginning, but you know, when we had our choice of going east or west. So what we're trying to do, we're trying to unlock this elevator that we are close to now. Not the one we came up with, but the other one to the left here. And to do that, we need the master key from the south lab. However, to get into the south lab, we need the power cells from the east and west lab, which we just got. So now it's time to go to the south lab. So that we can then go to the main lab. So many laboratories in this forest. My god. Makes you wonder why it's called the corrupted forest, not the laboratory forest. Can't believe I missed the bear there. This is one of the cutscenes we cannot skip because it doesn't have the black bars at the top and at the bottom.
Cells, but it's weird. What?
Oh, look out!
Ah! What are you doing?
Thankfully, it's a bit of a shorter one. Really? Another elite over here. Because I need another silver key. And the meteorite is also pretty nice. And some engrams. The whole shebang. Come on, guys. Just let me pass. Luring out that cannonball from the bear there, because otherwise it will hit you as soon as you land on the platform. Then you have to go all the way back. And just do that little jump around there again. Which we obviously don't want to do. Ooh. This was some slanted shots. Okay, got another damage increase. Very nice. Oh, no. Ah, no, I'm missing a blue one. Okay. And we're on the boss fight on our hands.
So...
And of course, he also has mastered the art of infinitely doing little back hops. As you can see, they can just really while away your time. They're just chaining these little hops in every direction. And then you have to go chase them, you also can hit them during that time, and you hate to see it.
Let's just get back to Mia.
Okay, we're doing a little detour here to pick up a very important item. It's not this one. The hot meteorite is nice, but I'm talking about the thing down here. Now this is the Devil's Sword, which, in my opinion, is the best weapon in the game. Now there are like, I think there are 5 swords in the game. Not counting the Excalibur that we have. There's like one in the one you start with, and then one in each area that we go to. They all have like different, not necessarily abilities, but different stats to them. For example, the sword that you start out with at the start of the game is like very balanced in every stat. Then you find one that is more towards crit damage and critical strikes, or more to, you know, building up the stagger gauge. Yes, and you can see my woes with the fast travel system. But the Devil's Sword just has the most pure damage output out of all of them, bar none. And that is why I like to grab it, because it's not that far out of the way. It is a little bit out of the way, as you saw there, but it is well worth it to go and pick it up. I won't be able to utilize it quite yet because it's still not as powerful as the rubber chicken at this part. But we will use it later in the run once we have enough upgrade materials to make it worth our while. And look who's back! It's Lee Chung! And we fight him again.
You think I've changed, Jim Rip? Our squad risked our lives to take down the Ebon Sting.
Now we actually have to wait for him to finish his monologue here, and we can't damage him anymore. What we can do is still attack them. You see our CP slowly filling up, the purple bars, the bottom middle there. We can just, you know, run rate those. While this goes on, we just go ahead and take it over with my team.
For the failure of the mission. You think this is treasonous of me? Did you think we would fade into the shadows after all this?
As you can see, he's a bit angry at us.
The failure of the mission lies with that corrupt court and you, traitor!
You know, the mission he's talking about is obviously, you know, the start of the game where we attacked the Ebon Sting and it failed. And he was part of that mission as well. And now he gets very angry with us, but even more so than he already was. And transforms into Devil Lee Chung.
Still as strong as ever, Kimmerit.
Dude has anger issues. Alright, now for the real fight against him.
For the powerful demons, and become one of them. Love is dead. A demon. Blinded by the power. Turns the country into this decrepit man. I won't be confused by the power. I will sit and look right. That's what I want.
And there we go. That's him defeated. For good this time, he won't be coming back. Yeah.
Whoa!
Whoa, indeed.
Gone.
All right, so we did get the soul stone that we came looking for here, you know, to stabilize Mirrorball. The problem is our body automatically absorbed it. So we did get it, but we didn't really get it. Which means that Mirrorball is in a bit of a troubled spot now. So we are being sent back out like immediately to another place where they apparently did like soulstone research. So we hope to get another one there. I think at this point all we know about that place is, you know, they did research there, but it's been basically abandoned. Because there is like a rogue AI running rampant there or something. I really do like the music in this area though. It's pretty good.
Tongbek said that there is no way to know what effect the crimson oil has had on this wasteland. We need to keep our wits about.
And I already tell, I absolutely do not like those enemies with the spike shields. Okay, we'll very soon learn why. Oh, come on, man. I also don't like these guys. Actually, now that I think about it, I like very few of the enemies in this area. Got another elite for the key. Very nice. First fight here. Now these guys are okay, they don't do a lot as you can see. But the one with the shield, because not only do they block like literally every single attack you throw at them, that shield also damages you quite a bit and pushes you back. So it's really hard to get around, and it's even not necessarily a given that you will be able to damage them if you are behind them. Because sometimes you just block behind them as well, which is just ugh. So this area, as you can see, it's just filled with enemies now. So we're definitely like in the mid-game of the game. Right here, where the difficulty is starting to ramp up quite a bit. And again, we haven't really picked up a lot of upgrades so far, like we have very little health. So when we get hit, it hurts. Oh, killing that thing is huge, actually. It's very easy to get hit by its rockets up here. Oh, on the way up, I should say. Yeah, you can't even dash through these enemies. Okay, guess we're not getting that. They are really just a complete roadblock.
Let's get going. This cave may let us move forward. What is that?
Okay, made it through that part. Okay, we're picking up these notes just for the engrams. Another elite.
Well, safe to say it was poor for you.
This little drilling unit is out of power, so we have to find a way to activate it so we can get to the next area here. Activation console is on the top there, so we have to go through a couple forced fights actually to get there. Which also nets us a little bit of hard meteorite here. Now there is actually a way to skip these fights. You saw a little bit earlier when I met this other character at the bonfire that there is like a path that goes up where a lot of spikes are, and there is like a special item you can pick up by doing a boss refight that makes it so that you are invulnerable for a second after taking damage. And with that, you can actually make your way up this spiky pathway. Which, you know, obviously, as you can tell, we wouldn't have to do these 3 forced fights, which saves quite a bit of time. The problem, of course, is that doing those boss fights takes quite a bit of time as well. And you're really not getting a lot out of them, other than these items that you still have to go and pick up. So sadly, you're not saving more time than you're losing by getting it. Yeah, this is exactly why I hate these spiked shield enemies. If you just get sandwiched between 2 of them, you are toast so quickly. Oh my god, this is going absolutely horrendous. Made it through somehow. Yeah, I really dislike them. Can't be stressed enough.
That sound must mean that we can get across to the lab like Mia said.
So this is basically where we would come up if we had done this. So it would have made our way up here through these spikes with it.
Come to think of it.
But again, sadly not worth it, even though it is a neat little skip that you can do. That's actually another... I'm not really calling it a runner or them a runner, because they're like mostly doing speedruns for their own personal hobby and not, you know, leaderboards or anything. But I was able to glean a couple of things for my run, which was really nice. Okay, we're grabbing a bunch of stuff here. You can see on the right what everything is that I'm grabbing, if you are curious. Guess I can go ahead and grab this as well while I'm at it. Yeah, that should be good. Okay, cool. Now we can be on our merry way.
Explain what is going on here.
Look, the The administrator is keeping an eye on your movements. That's why I can see what you are doing.
I see. Now, what is it that you need help with?
You just have to keep advancing towards the lab. Since you came to this place, you probably know what this place is. You want the data from here, right?
Gotta wait for the saw blade to go away. Just do this. Let's do a bunch of platforming.
Nice!
Warning! Warning! Both computers, cease your operations at once. Operating diagnostic in a high-security facility without authorization.
Here we go again.
Site repeated warning from the administrator. It is now confirmed as dangerous.
I forgot to do one thing earlier, so let me
You mentioned that after we
fix
absorbed
this.
Lee Chung's soulstone, your presence felt a bit more clear.
So we now upgraded our purity pellets we can use to heal, so we can now use 4 heals instead of just 3. Which will come in handy in the next boss fight. Against this floating tank here. Hover tank or whatever. I'm gonna try and hit these tumors growing out of it, so that it then falls down, and then you can do this, because that is actually what damages it. I have to do this 3 times, because of course you would have to do it 3 times. I think you really want to be on the lookout for the jet flames, because they just completely shred your health bar. Like initially they weren't dealing as much damage, but they've just increased that by I don't know how much in one of the later patches. So in the beginning these tanks really were quite the pushover. But since then, they've become very deadly. So you want to take these fights a little bit slow if you have to. Because really everything is better than dying against them. But yeah, in the beginning you could literally tank anything. The thing threw at you, but not anymore. Not anymore, you don't.
Confirmed a critical flaw in the performance of the security tool.
And then again, you still want to play at the current patches, because what they also did for... I don't even know why they did it, but in one of the later patches they increased your jump height by just a little bit. And that allows us to actually do a huge skip a little bit later in the run. Like it skips a bunch of the level and the boss fight. It's great.
Identification code 3578129. Confirming identity of the intruder. Intruder is Cameron, Royal Guard of the Palace. Were you dispatched by His Majesty?
I'm a royal guard?
In accordance with the Research Facility Management Protocol.
Okay, level 24 now, so this is where we stop leveling. Because when we are level 24, I know that we will get just enough engrams to be able to buy a couple of upgrade materials once we are back at Mirror Ball after this whole era. Now this room can be an absolute pain because it's very small in its width, and you have these enemies that can just kick you down however many times in a row they want to, and these very tiny platforms. Now, you want them to, you know, try and throw those gas things at you, but sometimes they just don't, and they just repeatedly kick you down, and you're just there like, oh my god, guy, let me pass. Doesn't help that they have these energy barriers around them. It makes it so that they don't stagger from your attacks. This thing I don't have to kill it, it just leaves me alone and shoots its rockets into the box. That is totally fine by me. And then we fight another tank. Because why fight one tank when you can fight two of them, right? This time over, it gets a bit of support from the back there. Doesn't necessarily make my job any easier. The saw blades are kinda nice though, because you can pretty reliably perfect dash them. Which gives you one of the better concentrated counter attacks for this fight. Like this one here. Grounds the tank pretty reliably. Get it, that is. No, that was a pretty good fight. Oh, pretty good fight. Like really, the second tank in the background makes this fight easier than the first, which is kind of interesting.
This is toxic gas.
Okay, make sure to open up this shortcut for later.
So I am contaminated in this place? This is a new experience.
We have to hit this guy so we can dash past him.
Looks like you stirred the administrator.
Because you can only dash past these shield-wielding enemies if they are doing something. If they're just completely standing still there, they are basically an immovable object. Absolutely nothing you can do about them.
Discharging device is located. There we go. It won't be easy, but if you focus right through some of the weaker facilities, you should be able to pass through. Good luck.
I'm not gonna fight this guy. Ow.
Thank you. Let's discuss details after I pass through here.
Ooh. This gas just gets rid of your health bar so quickly. I have to be really careful. Don't tell that this guy's shooting rockets at me. Then we have another mini boss fight here against this sleeping dude.
To come at me in this situation, he clearly isn't right in mind.
Basically, you want to stop him from hitting the switches to the far left and right by dropping these boxes in front of them, so he runs against them and gets stunned. Because if he hits the switches often enough, the room will get filled with poison gas and then he will just die. However, at the end of the fight, he kinda still does it. It's just that the poison gas doesn't come through. It breaks the whole apparatus. The Dancer's Nexus is actually a kind of useful accessory, because what it does is it increases our movement speed and also our attack speed.
The toxic gas is increasing.
Wow.
If I don't take care of this
It's
quickly,
there. These saw blades are deadly. You know what? I'm gonna wait for the next cycle. The saw blade there. There we go. Well, that means I also have to wait for you. Yeah, don't worry. We have enough time to make it through here. Like, you really can't dilly-dally because the timer, you know, is not that long, but it's more than enough time to make it through here. I will kill you. Oh my god. Dude is not playing nice. go. And we're done. 121. Oh, that's pretty decent.
You can see that the amount of toxic gas in the lab is fading. If you keep going straight through, you'll be able to enter the aisle that leads to the building where the administrator is.
So this is the
I'm
room where we
there now.
fought the tank in. If you don't open that shortcut, it will be blocked. Then you have to go all the way around the top again.
Okay,
Which
I'll
took
be
quite
right
a bit of
there.
time. Obviously never happened to me. Why would it? That's a bit weird. It kind of depends on where you end the second fight against the tank. Like, if you're at the far right, it automatically gets opened up. But if you're further to the left, it doesn't. So you just kind of have to be mindful of that and, you know, check if you're not sure. Excuse you. Thank you. Oh, a bit weird. So in this area we will constantly be bombarded by rockets from the next mini-boss. So we get to him and put an end to this. It's really not as bad as it sounds, because luckily the rockets don't deal that much damage, but they can be quite the annoyance. So really don't want to dilly-dally too long here. There he is. A bit too much of my AP before coming in here. But still, good fight. From him we get the steel braces. The steel braces increase our attack by 10, as opposed to the chain glove that we have equipped so far, which increased it by 5. However, we can have both equipped at the same time, which again is a nice increase to our damage. We'll equip them in a moment. Alright, please get through. Thank you. Oh, there we go. There they are. Okay. I was already level 24, right?
A powerful entity.
I did. Yes, I did that. Okay. Might as well upgrade this real quick because the next boss fight is quite the doozy. This is the final boss for this area. And if you die at any point during this fight, you lose a bunch of time because you have to go through all of these cutscenes again. Except this one, you can skip that one. But yeah, how it works is this is basically a very scripted fight for the first two phases. She will summon enemies from the lowest and middle cocoons.
And just how much do you
Once
know
you have
about
killed 6 enemies, 3 on the lower left and 3 on the lower right, she will then
Who gave you these orders?
put out little platforms
I
for the
demand
top
answers.
2 cocoons, and those are really the ones that you have to destroy to be able to damage her. We just want to try our best to kill these enemies as quickly as possible to advance the phase. They're dead, now these little platforms come out. Destroy the cocoon on the right. Doesn't matter that more enemies spawn, we just have to avoid them.
I cannot say.
Got by this and hit by this now. Oh my god, this is exactly what you don't want to happen. this. Drops down, and we can hit those things. And then we can hit her. And this will immediately put her into the second phase. And she will summon these robot ants.
Now! If you remove the red tumors attached to the administrator's body, you'll be able to slowly take it down.
Warning! Keep the pushing our friends off!
A bit of the hands. We should lure the other hand over here.
You down myself!
Oh my god. That was a bit bad. You want to stack them up
If you remove
if
the
you
tumors
can.
from you can attack
But
the
these
administrator
things in the
again.
background get in my way, which don't allow me to double jump but suck me in when I press X again. Like, they're supposed to help you. I think they hinder you more than they do.
Do you not understand?
Do that again. And now we're on to stage 3, and this one is completely random. Like, it really depends on what she does now, how long this fight will take. Now the rockets are good, which means I can keep staying on top of her and hit her. You basically want her to stay down, or at least in the middle, so you can continuously damage her. If she goes up, that's a problem. Now, this is the attack that we want to see. This is perfect. Yeah, that was a all in all pretty good fight. Like, smaller problems in the first phase where we got you know, kicked down from the platform twice. But other than that, it was a pretty good fight. Not a perfect fight. For the perfect fight, you want her to do what she did at the end there, where she's in like one of the corners, like twice, and then you can already get rid of her. She stayed a little bit in the middle at the start of the third phase, but again, it's completely RNG what she does in the third phase. I had a run where she just did a lot of laser attacks, which you didn't see at all, thankfully, this time around. That just lose you a lot of time. Like, she stays in a good spot for the lasers, but because the lasers like
Alright,
circle
here
around
we
her,
go.
you really
I
can't
can
attack
access
her
the
that much. And
administrator's database with that
straight up
terminal.
loses your time. There's another unskippable
By the
cutscene, but you
way,
have
Mr.
to mash
Satgat,
through the text.
You
So
is that why you asked
it's really
me
the worst
if
of
I
both
worked at-
worlds.
To be fair, you hid the fact that you are.
That's because.
But
I
hey, at
have
least
my
you know,
butt.
get a little bit of a break too.
That being
Take a
said,
sip, stay
it's
hydrated,
only
everybody.
fair that you probably had your own reasons too. The important thing is the present, not the past.
So we learned that they've experimented with the crimson oil on people.
Oh God.
Oh no.
What the hell is all this?
I can't believe it. The administrator. There is no way an AI would have the authority.
Shit, man.
And now it's proper cutscene type
Did
cutscene.
you?
Mia?
Alright. You know, as bad as that is, at least we got a artificial soul stone. So we can stabilize Neuroball. The place is literally about to collapse.
Is everything okay now?
It seems like there are.
Then we're on our way to the last
you
big
think-
area of the game. But before we do that, we need to buy some upgrades. So this is where we will start using all the engrams that we found. Gonna trade with that guy. We are gonna buy 9 condensed meteorite, which are the tier 3 material. And then we buy enough hard meteorites to get to 13. And we should have enough shattered ones. This is where we get another lengthy retrospective of what happened, you know, before we awoke at the start of the game.
Rip! You are Kin Rip.
Which is another
right?
unskippable cutscene. So you get a little bit of backstory here.
Wait.
So this basically happened between the tutorial of the game and where we started the run.
My turn to help you. I'm okay. I'm okay. Even if everyone in the world calls you a traitor. You are forever my personal royal guard. Don't suffer. Live proudly.
Mister?
So now we know what happened. The capital is by far the biggest and most complex of the 4 big areas in the game. However, as I alluded to earlier, we are able to skip a large part of it because of that little jump height increase they gave us in one of the patches. Really gotta thank the developers for that one. But first, we have to make our way through here. Oh my god. Very nice. So we get 1 more condensed meteorite from that guy, so we don't have to buy it because we need 10. Skip some cutscenes. This guy's head as a platform. The other 2 hard meteorite, that puts us at 15. So in order to fully upgrade a weapon, you need 15 tier 1 materials, 15 tier 2, 10 tier 3, and a single tier 4. So the tier 4 can only ever be found in the game, and you can only find 2 of them for the swords and 2 of them for the guns. You can only upgrade 2 weapons to the maximum efficiency, sadly. And there's no New Game Plus, so you only gotta make do with what you have. I really hope they do add New Game Plus at some point, though. That would be pretty neat. You know, playing this from the start with all of your abilities sounds like fun. Maybe even on harder difficulty. Okay, it's upgrade.
How did Shinban
First of
transform
all,
the
yes,
capital
we
into
have
such
to
a
upgrade this.
living nightmare?
And then we upgrade the Devil Sword. We'll be able to get plus 14 at this point. So we haven't found the tier 4 material yet. Upgrade of this, and then... Wait, I did grab the other upgrades. Yes, I did. Okay. We can upgrade this here when you're missing red, so that's interesting. Okay, switching weapons. Ah, you know what I could have also done? I could have already equipped this. Alright, so now we're using the Devil Sword. Like I said, in my opinion, the best weapon in the game, or the best sword. And you will kind of see the increase in damage we deal now. So we're making really quick work of this guy's health bar. And then just a little push into the next phase. Oh, really? I guess that was too early. Anyway, boss fight's done. That was really a bit of a pushover, but you know, he's an old man with a crutch, so what can you expect? He's not a fighter. Okay, and this is where we do the skip, basically.
This.
Because I will just show you here, you know, we are supposed to go all the way over there, and from there backtrack through another path, and then go all the way up here and explore.
It belongs to Shiban.
We're not gonna do none of
Did he
that.
drop it?
Because we just got this demon chime, or chime bell, not a demon chime, which lets us interact with these blue and red and purple blocks that you see all over the place. Now basically what it does is it makes the red ones disappear, it makes the blue ones appear, and it moves the purple ones. However, at the moment we can only manipulate the red ones, and what that, you know, advancing or fighting the next boss would do is give us the blue stone, so we can manipulate the blue blocks. We're gonna skip that, however. We're never gonna pick up the blue stone for the bell. So we should have the blue stone here to make it through this little labyrinth. But instead, this is where the increased jump height comes in. Oh, that was a bit too late. Oh. Come on. There we go. We can just skip all of that by going this way. So just being able to skip that one blue platform basically allows us to skip everything that I just showed you on the map, which is quite a few minutes and a very hard boss fight that we just do not have to do. I don't want to say we skipped like half of this area, but it is a substantial amount. And what we're instead gonna do is we do need the purple stone. So we are gonna go ahead and grab that now. The nice thing is, when you get the purple stone, the game thinks, oh, you must have acquired the blue stone as well, right? To get this far. So it will also give us the blue stone. This is why I picked up the barrier generator, because we have to make this jump through the laser here. If we didn't have the barrier up, we would fall down, because we take damage. And now we have the red, blue, and the purple. Isn't that the greatest? Backtracking here to where we need to use it. Or you can use these as elevators, so to speak. You can kind of see by the striped bar there where it will go. Pretty basic stuff. I'm not exactly sure why there's one of these purple blocks here in the elevator shaft when they have perfectly fine elevators at the top of it, but who am I to judge architecture? Oh my god. Now, I don't know about you guys, but we've been, in this one for nearly 1.5 hours at this point, so I'm getting kinda hungry. And luckily, the game will provide for us, if you will. So, I hope you guys are hungry for some meatball. Yes, singular. Because there's gonna be one big meatball that we're gonna have to fight. Right here. Okay, which pattern are we getting? Well, we are getting this one. Okay. I'll allow it. Actually, that was pretty good, because, that should actually kill it. Okay, there goes the meatball. It was a feast, wasn't it? Have you ever seen such a big meatball? Because damn.
That day, it all happened because I wasn't strong enough.
Okay. Who's it?
I will never succumb to the power like the rest of
So yeah, we now got drenched in the crimson oil, you know, the bad stuff. So now we have unlocked the heavy metal mode. And the double form, as you can probably tell.
because that is the last promise I must keep to her.
Kim is having a bit of a moment here. But yeah, this is what I lovingly call the heavy metal section of the game, because we will be using that double form quite a bit from here on out. And yes, we always get the sweet music with it. So if you don't like heavy metal music, I apologize, and if you do, you came to the right place. Now it is on a 30-second cooldown whenever you've used it. You can unlock an ability that decreases that timer with enemies you kill in between. But we're not gonna pick that up because we have 5 minutes, so 30-second timer. Now the devil form is obviously a little bit stronger than your human form. The downside being that you constantly drain health. But you regain it by attacking enemies. So you constantly want to be fighting enemies. But you also move quite a bit faster than if you are just a human form. And your dashes are longer. And that allows us to do another skip here, where we dash through these lasers so we don't have to deactivate them. Continue through this area. Now this is probably one of the hardest areas in the game. In the first versions of the game, like these ghosts, if they just so much as touched you, they send you all the way back to the beginning of these particular areas. And they being the developers, got quite a bit of backlash for that from every person that played this game because it was just really stupid. So now they changed it to where they don't send you back to the beginning anymore, but they do quite a bit of damage to you. So you want to be really careful going through here still. And we made it. First try, let's go.
I know where we are.
Nope. Now if that music sounds a little bit familiar to you, it is because Matt TV of Trivium actually helped out with some part of the soundtrack for this game. And I think it shows. Okay, whenever you use a bonfire though, or campfire, you go out of your demon form, which resets it. Doesn't matter too much here because we're just gonna grab some upgrades along the way. Can't quite grab that yet, that is fine, but I don't need anything here anymore. Grab this, I need more green. Can't grab this though, we should also start worrying about our health a bit more. Okay, next boss fight.
Damn it, King!
You dare to try and consume me?
Oh god.
Unlike you, unworthy.
Yeah, this fight really depends on the attacks he does. Then when he does this one, he does that always when he gets close to 50% health. You can really just lay down the hurt on him. Because the nice thing about the double form is also we do not use any of our AP. We have unlimited. So we can really just spam these attacks. And that should end the fight actually. Good fight. Good fight. Do like that. Okay, now we've been to all the areas. We got a little bit of a cutscene here that says, oh, the demon seeds that have been planted all over the world are about to hatch, and obviously we can't have that. So now we have to go back to all 4 big areas of the game and basically defeat another boss that has popped up in areas that we weren't able to get to before. This is basically a little bit of backtracking before the finale of the game. Come on, grab the... I had it. See what I mean with it being very hard to hit this save point because it just wants to grab everything around it but the save point? Ugh. Transforming again because it's faster. There's a little puzzle here. We have to go through these bottles in the right order. And it's actually pretty simple. You go lower left, upper right, lower right, lower left. So basically you start from the lower left and then go just clockwise. Now we do have to kill this guy though. This is actually critically important. Because he has a set of keys that we need. Luckily, he's a bit of a pushover. We basically now get upgrades to the demon form for every boss that we kill. And it actually starts looking different as well, which is quite a nice touch. That's the first part done. Now we go back to the ruined city and the boss in the ruined city is probably one of the hardest in the whole run. It's actually a copy of the one boss fight that we skipped in the capital. So we would have fought more or less the same enemy before already. But like I said, we skipped in the capital because we got a little bit more jump height from the developers. Very much appreciated, thank you. This is why we had to open this particular part of the hotel at the beginning of it. You might have wondered why I opened that shortcut, and this is the reason why, so we don't have to, go all the way up and down and around again. Just go right through the main entrance, so to speak. And now this upper part here has opened up. Then we have to kill this guy for the next set of keys that we need. Three sets of keys in total, and this is where we get the tier 4 upgrade material. So we now can upgrade our sword to the next level. Oh my god. They're just hitting me through the floor here. Oh my god. Excuse me guys, can I just make my way through here? Holy shit. Party is on. My lord. Right, I already did all that, so upgrade this. And we level up a bit more, because like I said, the boss fight coming up is... oh, it can go sideways so quickly. I should be able to do this. And then I actually want more health. Like, this is the part of the run where we really start to care about our health. Maybe even more than our attack. Alright, let's see how this goes. So this is somewhat of a copy of us. He basically has all the same abilities that we have, but he has access to all of them at the same time. Like, we would too if we would upgrade our character more, but of course we didn't. We're fighting a better version of ourselves. Can you please stand still, sir? I'm trying to kill you here. Even though he isn't there, like, his hitbox still is, so you can't just use that to regenerate health. So it doesn't damage him, sadly. Can you stop blocking? Holy crap. Yeah, this fight can take a while if he just continuously blocks your attacks. But hey, we got through it in one go, so I'm happy with that. Not the greatest fight I've ever had against this guy, but yeah. If you don't die against him, that's a win in my book. Absolute win in my book.
Is this the...
Alright, so we're done here.
What do we know
Two
about
areas
the gods
running.
of hell?
Oh god. Now, why are you guys hungry again? Because, you know, we had a big meatball to eat. How about a second big meatball? A spicy meatball, even, if you want. This is where we picked up the Devil's Sword earlier. And you could make a point of, you know, picking it up here instead of when we do it on the run, but then you would have to do a couple boss fights without it, and I don't know. I think it gives enough of a damage increase to make up for getting it earlier, and then not having to worry about those particular boss fights as much. Can you please transform? Thank you. Gotta kill this guy because he has the third and last set of keys that we need. And then these worms are back. Short pit stop here to reset our double form. There's the Lord of Inferno, or as I like to call it, the spicy meatball. Starts with this. Not a fan, but there's nothing I can do about it. So then be sad. They did give me this though, so let's make use of it. And there goes the spicy meatball. Nice and easy. Hope it was as tasty for you as it was for me. Okay, one demon seed remains. And this is what we needed all those keys for.
Did you create an armor with the power of the demon god that we absorbed?
So if we've been keeping track, we need to go back to the restricted zone. Oh, come on. Dash once too many. Bit of a shorter use this time, mostly to get through that vertical shaft there, because we now have like 2 orbs orbiting us, which damage enemies, which makes it a bit safer to get through there. And this is where we needed all these 3 sets of keys for that we got in the other areas.
So you.
And then we have some kind of boss fights. Against people that we already killed in the past. A little bit stronger now this time. Them and us. And we fight ourselves. Because of course that couldn't miss. Alright, nice. Okay, with all of those demon gods
The devilized
defeated
form looks
and
increasingly
basically
ferocious.
absorbed, we are now ready
Is that form your
for
name?
the final 2 boss fights. Now obviously these will be big spoilers, so I don't know if you're interested in the story or not. I mean, it's a speedrun, right? Can't really avoid spoilers in a speedrun. Yeah, level 38, that's the last level we will be able to achieve, so we will grab our last couple of upgrades here. I want the health and a little bit more damage, and we should be good to go. So we'll make our way back to Mirror Ball, and from there into the final 2 boss fights, like straight away. There's no more levels, no anything. It's just 2 boss fights. Oops. So that we have to get through. So big spoilers ahoy, if you care about any of that. Because yeah, it's the last 2 boss fights. Of course it's gonna be spoilery. Back at the even sting.
Finally,
And we start with this big guy.
do you really think that what you and I see?
Now he's definitely a bit of a pain point for a lot of people, and he has been nerfed quite a bit, because let me tell you, he was basically unbeatable on hard difficulty at the game release initially. He was just too tanky, and he gains an auto heal ability later on, and a couple of other abilities whenever he summons these planets and whatnot. Like, this fight is a whole other challenge than the whole game so far.
Exactly what I wanted.
You really can't damage him other when he uses his hands to attack you. There's really not a lot of opportunities to do damage.
Rule, order, norms. A world where none of those matter in the face of total strength. In the new world.
We're doing pretty well here.
Strongest will reign over all others.
Let's just finish him off like this. Alright, done. And then we have the final boss fight to go. And the final boss definitely is a final boss, let me tell you. Oh my god. She is powerful. So let me just concentrate here while you enjoy the music and the visuals. And while I hopefully don't die. This is normally not what she does at the start, so caught me a bit by surprise there, I'm not gonna lie. That attack string, man. And that is time. There we go, everybody. That was actually a bit surprising, not gonna lie. Yeah, that fight is like really hard to get through casually. She has a lot of different attack combos that have very specific timings that can come out at any time. The only thing that is kind of set in stone is when she teleports away. She does one of two attacks alternatively, so you kind of know what's coming there, so you can start preparing for it. One where she shoots that big laser across the screen, the other one where she just, you know, tries to rush at you. But otherwise, yeah, she can be a real pain. But yeah, that was a pretty great run. Not gonna lie, it was actually so good that it is my new PB as the time of this recording. Which also means, because I'm the only runner for this game, sadly, this is a new world record. So I enjoyed that one. But yeah, we'll just, you know, get the ending here. And yeah, I mean, I hope you enjoyed this run, for sure. If you're interested in running this game, feel free to hit me up if you need strategies or anything. There isn't a dedicated speedrun Discord for this, but the developers of the game were kind enough to, you know, give us a little corner in their company Discord, so we can post our stuff there. Our findings, our records, and whatnot. So, you know, feel free to join that if you like. It's a really fun game, even if you don't intend to speedrun it. Definitely give it a good play casually if you're interested in like 2D action games like this that are also a little bit Metroidvania-y. But like I said, I can best describe this as like Devil May Cry but in 2D, because it really feels like it with all the fighting and stuff that you do. And yeah, that's it, everybody. That was the run. I hope you enjoy the rest of the event. Like the normal live runs will continue coming very soon, and hopefully I will be there as well in the future again. Until then, everybody, bye bye.